Hello, friends. Myself, your host for the day, that is Wonderful Banerjee. Once again, back with another one lesson for you all in the channel, that is Hospitality Education PPT. And today, as you all know, that earlier we have completed the first part of classification of sauce, and today we are going to discuss about the second part of it. There is another part of the classification of sauce. This is This session rather is very much under the food production basics, especially those who are pursuing their 3-year degree course in hotel management or hospitality management, especially in first year, going to be in second semester, and those who have already crossed that level, they for their recapitulation, this session is very important, especially prior to your campus interview. Basic knowledge is very much required. So this is basically a concept clearing session conducted by me for you all. So I request you to have your attention and go through the entire lesson so that you can understand the sauce, the concept of the sauce in a better way. So without wasting further time, I welcome you all to the channel, that is Hospitality Education PPT. So in this particular session, the scope of study is like this. We are going to first clarify the concept of emulsification and the science behind it. We'll discuss thoroughly with proper example. Second part of the lesson is to discuss about the hot and cold emulsified sauce, that is hollandaise and mayonnaise. We're going to discuss that. Number three part is definitely we are going to discuss about the different derivatives of hollandaise and mayonnaise sauce. That is very important for your examination purpose. And number four, to discuss about different faults which may occur during the preparation of these emulsified sauce and how to rectify it. That also we are going to discuss. And finally, we are also going to discuss about another category of sauce, that is hot butter sauce and hot butter sauce. Okay, so this is our area of discussions today. To start with, what is emulsification? Before going for the emulsified sauce, we must have the concept of emulsification process. That is a basic science. Many of you are having already the idea of emulsification. Still, we will try to reconnect and re-establish it in your mind. What is that? In the culinary art, an emulsion is a mixture of two liquids that would ordinarily not mix together like oil and vinegar. Rather, if we say in other words, we can say that it is a process of mixing two immiscible liquids. That is the science, and that is known as the emulsification process. Example like mixing of oil and vinegar. These two liquids are immiscible. So naturally we need to do something. And what is that something? It is known as the process of emulsification, and we are going to discuss that. Now there are three types of emulsification process. One is a temporary emulsification. Number two is a semi-permanent emulsification. And third one is a permanent emulsification. Okay, so temporary, semi-permanent, and permanent. let us discuss what is temporary and then semi-permanent and permanent sauce. A temporary emulsion is one that will separate in under an hour. That means initially it will mix, but after some time, within a short span of time, there will be a tendency of separating it again. That is another temporary emulsification. It will emulsify again with some sort of agitation, such as shaking or whisking. Suppose you are taking two immiscible liquids in a bottle and shake it for some time, you'll see that they will become a homogeneous mixture. If you keep the bottle stand still for some time, you will see that slowly these two liquids are getting separated. So this is the classic explanation of a temporary emulsion. You need to have some agitational force, like I have shaken the bottle or I whisk the mixture by using a balloon beater. Okay, then only they will be mixed in. Very good example is what? A salad dressing is a temporary emulsification process where the oil and vinegar are poured into a jar and agitated until they come together as a unified liquid. So you take required amount of oil, vinegar in a jar and shake it for some time. You'll see that there is a transformation and it has become a unified liquid, and that can be sprinkled on salad as a salad dressing. Okay, so that is an example of temporary emulsion. Then semi-permanent, if the emulsion is maintained for few hours before separating, it is considered as a semi-permanent. And the good example is hollandaise sauce. It is a semi-permanent sauce. That means if you are making hollandaise sauce for a couple of hours, it will remain okay. After a couple of hours, there is a possibility that they will slowly start separating from each other. So this is a classic example of semi-permanent sauce. And the third one is what? That is a permanent one. What is the example? That also you know all. A permanent emulsion is one that will remain unified in its thickened state for an extended period of time. Mayonnaise is an example of a permanent emulsion consisting of egg yolk and oil. There are also two immiscible liquids, that is egg yolk and oil, that will be mixed in. There is an example of permanent emulsion. Why it is called permanent emulsion? Is because it will be remaining unified for a prolonged period of time. There should not be any separations. So let us come back to the basic knowledge of emulsification. One is a temporary. Within a short span of time, two liquids will be separated. Semi-permanent, this emulsification will retain for a couple of hours, like the hollandaise sauce. And permanent one, a good example is the mayonnaise sauce, which can be retained for a prolonged period of time in a unified manner. So these are the three basic examples. Other than that, there are two ways this emulsification can be done. One is oil in vinegar emulsification, and other one is water in oil emulsification. Either you are mixing oil in water or you are mixing water in oil. So these are the two types of emulsification process. I hope it is very clear in your mind now. If you are having any questions, please put it in the comment box. I'll be able to clarify it for you all. So let's proceed to the next. Emulsifier sauce, the science behind the emulsification. Oil and vinegar separately, you wouldn't be necessarily imagine they could become unified into a viscous liquid. That means oil and vinegar is not easily going to mix. But certain substances act as emulsifiers. Remember, certain substances act as emulsifiers, which means they help the two liquids come together and stay together. And this can be either temporarily or a permanently. when the mixture is agitated. That means you require oil, you require vinegar, and also you require another one, that is emulsifier. Clear? In the case of a mayonnaise and hollandaise, it is lecithin. Sorry, it is lecithin. You can see this is the name of the emulsifier in the egg yolk. It is present that acts as an emulsifier. What is lecithin? Lecithin is a fatty substance that is soluble in both fat and water and will readily combine with both the egg yolk and the oil or butter, essentially holding the two liquids together permanently. So that is the job of lecithin, holding it. It is both fat soluble and water soluble, and it holds the two liquids together permanently or semi-permanently, as you know. Lecithin, it is a robust and efficient emulsifier. It is, what is that? Lecithin, lecithin is a phospholipid found in egg yolk and soy that encourages oil in water emulsification. The lecithin in one egg yolk can emulsify about 7 ounces of oil. What is 7 ounces? It is around 198 gram of oil, or in case of oil, approximately 200 grams of oil. Any more amount of oil, you'll visibly see the emulsion getting separated. So that is the maximum capacity for a standard international egg. Okay, in our Indian context, it is lesser, as because the Indian eggs, the standard of Indian eggs are little lower than the international standards. Clear? Cholesterol, you must have heard. The word cholesterol in egg, it also encourages oil in water emulsification. So cholesterol present in egg, that also helps in emulsifying process. Mustard contains a complex polysaccharide component to add in the emulsification process, but is not as useful over long periods of time compared to lecithin. So out of these three we have discussed till now, lecithin, cholesterol and mustard. Lecithin is supposed to be the best one. And there is another one for you, that is honey. Honey also acts as an emulsifier, and also it brings a very sweet taste in the product. Okay. Now, hot emulsified sauce. What is that hot emulsified sauce? Hollandaise. It is a classic French hot emulsified French mother sauce. Why it is hot? Because there is an application of heat while making this hollandaise sauce. It is made by combining egg yolk, clarified butter, and lemon juice, or sometimes white wine or white vinegar reduction. The sauce is rich, creamy, and slightly tangy in taste. It looks like this. You can see this is the appearance of hollandaise sauce. What are the things we require? We require 1 tablespoon of cold water, few crushed black peppercorn. That means you take black peppercorn and crush it with a stone grinder. A pinch of cayenne pepper, salt to taste, egg yolk 2 numbers, 5 ml of white wine or white vinegar or lime juice, either or, and 120 ml of clarified butter. Now the question comes, what is clarified butter? Let us clarify that as well. Whole butter is made up of three things. One is fat, some percentage of water, that is moisture, and some milk proteins. These three things are there in a whole butter. So what is clarified butter? Clarified butter is the translucent golden yellow butter fat left over after the milk, protein and water are removed from the whole butter. So out of these three ingredients present in the whole butter, you remove water, you remove the milk solids, that is the protein. What is remaining? That is your butter fat, and that is known as a clarified butter. And how it is done? It is done by melting the butter indirectly on a double boiler, and on the top you see the froths are there. The froths are nothing but the moisture floating on top that can be removed with the spoons by scumming method. And at the bottom of the container you see some solid materials are precipitating, that is known as the milk protein or milk solids that can be separated out by straining method. So in between, whatever is remaining as yellow, golden yellow color, that is known as the butter fat, and it looks like this after removing these two elements from the whole butter. So this is the clarified butter in front of you. Clear? Now the method. First, prepare a reduction of white wine, vinegar or lemon juice and crushed peppercorn in a pan. Reduction means by boiling I am going to reduce it. To what extent? To make it half. So in a heavy bottom pan, you take this mixture and put it on a moderate flame. There will be bubbles, there will be some evaporations, and the mixture will be reduced. To what extent? Half, maximum. Then swirl the pan with cold water and allow to cool. You remember in the recipe we have mentioned in the beginning only 1 tablespoon of cold water. So take that cold water, put it in the pan, swirl it, and then put it in one side to cool down the temperature. Now, place the egg yolk and strain reduction into a mixing bowl. What you are going to do, you take a separate bowl or a pan, take the egg yolk, the liquid which is reduced, that is strained and added, and whisk it. How long you are going to whisk? To get a ribbon consistency, which is technically known as Sabayon consistency. Sabayon, Sabayon consistency. Over a Baumer. Baumer is what? A kind of a double boiler system where water is getting boiled, we put the container on top. So this container is not getting heated directly. It is getting through the water heat transfer. Clear? Number 3. Gradually whisk in the clarified butter until the reduction is formed. Now we are going to add the clarified butter and going on mixing it. Once it is consumed totally, then you add salt, cane pepper, and a little amount of lime juice for the taste. The sauce is ready. Now, one important aspect, one egg yolk in Indian context will consume 40 to 50 ml of clarified butter, that you should remember. Okay, that is a method of making a hollandaise sauce. Now, there is a time to discuss about the different derivatives of hollandaise sauce. First one is sauce mayonnaise. Traditionally, it is made like hollandaise, starting with a reduction of equal parts of white wine, white vinegar, chopped shallots, tarragon is a kind of herb, chervil, parsley, crushed black peppercorn, and egg yolk. And then addition of clarified butter. So what is sauce mayonnaise? It is basically prepared like hollandaise, but the
reduction process is a little different. The ingredients, especially reduction process is the same, but ingredients are added there: white wine, wine vinegar, chopped shallots, tarragon, chervil, parsley, crushed black peppercorn, and egg yolk, and then clarified butter and mixing and whiskey on a barmaid or a double boiler system. Your sauce bareness will be ready. Another one, sauce Maltese Hollandaise sauce made with a reduction of orange juice and zest. Zest is what? It is the outer ring or the skin of the orange. And what kind of orange is used? Typically, the blood oranges are used for this sauce. Commonly served with fish and asparagus. Fish and asparagus, that is a basic thing with which the sauce Maltese is served. Clear? Sauce Mikado. What is that? Hollandaise sauce made with a reduction of mandarin orange juice, zest, and commonly served with fish. Let's see that in the reduction process, we are doing some changes over there and then make it like Hollandaise sauce. Process is very, very simple. Sauce muslin, typically one part of whipped cream is folded into a 3 or 4 parts of Hollandaise sauce just before serving. Commonly served with cooked vegetables, fish, and eggs. So that is known as sauce mostly. Sauce noisette, Hollandaise sauce flavored with noisette butter at the end, commonly served with cooked vegetables, fish, egg, and meat. In that way, we have discussed about the 5 derivatives of Hollandaise sauce. I hope up to this it is good going and it is interesting as well for you all. Next, proceed to the next. The faults and rectification. This is very important for you all for your examination and also while working actually in the field. What are the faults may occur? Sometimes the scrambled appearance of the sauce due to the coagulation and shrinking and hardening of egg protein at around 55 degrees Celsius. So care must be taken too. What we are saying exactly out here, we have mentioned that once the reduction is made in a container, you take another one egg yolk, add the reduction liquid, and then go on whisking by adding clarified butter on a top of binary or double boiler. Now, if by chance the temperature is much higher, what will happen? Egg will coagulate very fast, and once the egg will get coagulated, it won't absorb the clarified butter, and ultimately, what will be the texture? Texture will be a curdled texture or a scrambled appearance. It won't be unified liquid. So this temperature is very, very important. 55 degrees Celsius, egg is getting coagulated in that temperature. So ensure that egg yolk do not become too hot when whisking to ribbon stage, that is sabio, over the double boiler. So you have to do it off and on. Sometimes you put it on double boiler, whisk it, then remove, do it outside, use the carryover cooking so that the inner heat is already there. That will be enough to cook the butter, mix the butter with the egg yolk properly, and then put it back again. So on the double boiler, off the double boiler, that's the method, on and off. Prevent the melted butter overheating before adding to the egg yolk. It may also get curdled if you are adding too hot melted or clarified butter to the egg yolk mixture. Because of the heat, egg yolk will get coagulated then and there. So naturally, there should not be any emulsification happening. Prevent the sauce from overheating prior to service. So once the sauce is made, never overheat prior to the service. Put it on a double boiler because sometimes sauce will be heated very mildly and that you add on the product you are going to serve. Number two, curry sauce, which may be the result of the following reasons as well. Insufficient agitation during mixing. It may happen that egg has reached to a samayo consistency and then is the time to add the clarified butter and you are adding clarified butter but not mixing it thoroughly. So insufficient agitation will also be responsible for getting a curdled texture of the sauce. Too much mechanical agitation which breaks down the protective layer of emulsifying agent. So either you are beating it insufficiently or you are overbeating. If you are overbeating, the emulsifier's outer skin will be broken and it will be losing its emulsifying capacity. So as a result, it will be a curdled texture once again. So no insufficient beating, no overbeating. Adding melted butter too quickly to the mixture. Adding melted butter drop by drop in the beginning so that emulsification will be properly done. If you add too much of butter at a time, it will be beyond the capacity of the egg yolk to absorb. So automatically what will happen? Two liquids will be separated. So it is better to add the clarified butter drop by drop in the beginning and go on whisking once you are adding the butter. Using incorrect formula because we have told you one egg yolk will absorb in Indian standard 30 to 40 ml of clarified butter. Don't try to add more than that. International standards we have told you one egg yolk will maximum 200 grams of oil it will absorb. So should be very careful about that. Formula should be well balanced. So these are the reasons for which the hollandaise sauce may get curdled or the fault may occur. How to rectify it? To overcome the above mentioned points, care must be taken. Ensure that the melted butter is not added too quickly to the egg yolk. That is the first point. Whisking briskly when adding the melted butter. So remember, whenever you are adding the melted butter, then only you are going to whisk it very briskly so that it gets mixed in well. Prepare sauce just before the service. We have told you that hollandaise is a semi-permanent emulsification emulsified sauce. So never make it much before the service. Maximum 2 hours, couple of hours, not beyond that. So try to make as close to the service point. Ensure fresh eggs are used. You understand? If you use the fresh egg for making hollandaise, the lecithin, the emulsifying agent present in the egg yolk will remain very, very strong and emulsifying process will be very easy. How to rectify? Place a small amount of boiling water into a clean bowl. Try to imagine that. Gradually whisk the curdled mixture on the water. So suppose your sauce got curdled, so keep that bowl in one side, take another one fresh bowl, add one very small amount of boiling water, and in that boiling water you add the curdled sauce drop by drop and go on whisking. It will be then and there rectified. Another one process, place a fresh egg yolk into a clean bowl and gradually whisk in the curdled mixture on the egg yolk. Whisk gently over a warm. Same thing, either you are starting with the boiling water, 1 tablespoon, then adding the curdled mixture drop by drop over there, mixing it, or you start again with a fresh egg yolk, gradually whisk in the curdled mixture drop by drop, and whisk it gently over a double boiler or warmery. the sauce will get rectified there and there. So the fault of curdling hollandaise sauce, the reasons behind it, and how to rectify it, we have discussed thoroughly. If you are having still any question, please put it in the comment box. I will get back to the right answer and analysis for that. Okay. And for the typing, let us focus on how to make a mayonnaise sauce. Another example of mayonnaise sauce. What is mayonnaise sauce? It is an example of cold emulsified sauce consisting of cold means what? There is no requirement of heat application. In the room temperature only it can be done. A cold emulsified sauce consisting of egg yolk and oil. The name is a corruption of the French word mayonnaise, which is derived from the old French word moyo. Moyo means egg yolk. The sauce is looking like a creamy, pale ivory color and not too acidic in nature. And it looks like this. You can see the very thick mayonnaise sauce is made and kept in front of you. This is a good example of cold emulsified sauce. In the earlier, when citing the example, we have mentioned that it is a permanent emulsified sauce. Example. Okay. What do we require? We require two numbers of egg yolk, 300 ml of olive oil or vegetable oil, 10 ml of lime juice or vinegar, 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard. Dijon is the mustard capital of the world. It is in France. It is a processed mustard, so that is the authentic way of using a Dijon mustard for making this kind of sauce. And to taste, salt, pepper, and sugar will be added. Method: bring all the ingredients to room temperature. Very, very important. Bring all the ingredients into room temperature. It should not be cold or refrigerated. Okay. Combine the yolks and seasoning and beat a little. You take a bowl, take the egg yolk and all the other ingredients, the seasoning part, salt, pepper, and sugar, and mix it with a beater. Now add the oil very slowly and keep beating till an emulsification is formed. So we are adding drop by drop oil, go on whisking with the beater, and slowly observe that it is getting emulsified, becoming homogeneous mixture. And continue with that. After some time you will see it has become very thick. It is very difficult to whisk also. At that point you can add the vinegar or lime juice and check the seasoning and go on doing it if the oil is still remaining. Here the point should be noted. One egg yolk will consume 130 to 150 ml of oil. Okay. Hollandaise 40 to 50 ml. In case of mayonnaise 130 to 150 ml. That's why we have taken maximum 300 ml out here. Olive oil or vegetable oil. Clear? Good. Now the derivatives. Sauce starter. It is a combination of mayonnaise sauce, chopped gherkin, chopped onion, chopped parsley and chives, chopped caper, and chopped hard-boiled egg. So in the mayonnaise sauce, if you add all these ingredients, it will be naming like a sauce starter. Another one, cocktail sauce. There is a mayonnaise sauce mixed with tomato ketchup, Worcestershire sauce, Tabasco sauce, and lemon juice. Once you mix up these with mayonnaise, it becomes a cocktail sauce. Sauce remoulade, mayonnaise sauce, chopped gherkin, chopped capers, chopped anchovy fillet or anchovy paste, and chopped parsley. Anchovy is a kind of fish. All these things, once it is mixed with the mayonnaise sauce, it becomes sauce remoulade. Sauce chantilly, mayonnaise sauce mixed with lemon juice and mixed with whipped cream. Okay, and finally, there are many here. We are discussing only five. Sauce Thousand Island. It is a mayonnaise mixed with tomato ketchup, chopped onion, chopped red and green pimentos, chopped onion, sweet paprika powder, and ultimately that will be transformed to sauce Thousand Island. Okay, clear? Fine. Good. Now, as usual, there will be some faults in making of mayonnaise. There will be a kernel texture, and you have to rectify it as well as a chef. So, we should discuss that fault. Unstable emulsion caused, it may cause due to many reasons. Number one, when the ingredients have been at too low a temperature, thus preventing the emulsifying agent from coating with oil successfully. In the beginning, we have mentioned that for making the mayonnaise, all the ingredients should be in a room temperature. So, any ingredients are too cold, the emulsification process will be stopped, and end result will be a curdled, unstable emulsion. Okay, that can be one reason. Another one fault, by using stale egg yolk. We have mentioned that if it is a stale egg yolk, the lecithin, the emulsifying agent, will be very weak. So naturally emulsification will be happening. That can be a fault. By inadequate whisking when adding oil, same thing. Like the hollandaise sauce we have discussed, whenever you are adding oil, you are not adding it, beating it properly. So insufficient beating will definitely lead to a curdled sauce. By adding oil too quickly in the initial stage, initially always you are going to add oil drop by drop. If you add too much at a time, it will be beyond the capacity of lecithin to hold it properly, and the ultimate result is the curdled texture or unstable emulsion. Okay, these are the faults may occur by using incorrect formula balance. What is the balance? One egg yolk will consume 130 to 150 ml as a standard in Indian context. That you should remember. Now, tips for fixing the broken mayonnaise. We should know how to rectify it. Number one, add an extra yolk. If your mayonnaise has broken and looks like a curdled mess, don't panic. Start by whisking a new egg yolk in a separate bowl. Then slowly whisk in the broken mayonnaise a little at a time. This method helps re-emulsifying the mixture and restore its creamy consistency. By chance your sauce is curdled, don't get panic. Get another one extra bowl, take one egg yolk, beat it with the curdled mixture drop by drop, and you'll get re-emulsified sauce. Okay, so it's very easy to rectify. Use mustard or water. Another quick fix for broken mayonnaise is to whisk in a small amount of mustard. In the beginning, we have mentioned that mustard has a emulsifying agent present in it. So that you can add little Dijon mustard, and suppose the curdling is in a very initial stage, you can add the Dijon mustard or one lukewarm tablespoon of lukewarm water. Go on mixing it very fast, either Dijon mustard or don't add the both. Mustard contains emulsifier that can help bind the ingredients together, and in contrast, water helps to loosen the mixture and encourage re-emulsification. Start with just a teaspoon at a time until you achieve the desired consistency. So you add 1 teaspoon of curdled sauce, go on mixing, then again you add the less, slowly you go on adding the curdled sauce into that and go on mixing it properly. slow drizzle of oil. If your mayonnaise broke while adding the oil, it is likely because you added it too quickly. To salvage the mixture, start with a fresh bowl and a new egg yolk. Then slowly drizzling the broken mayonnaise first and whisking it continuously. Once the mixture begins to emulsify again, you can gradually add the remaining oil. You understood it properly? So this is the way we can rectify the broken mayonnaise. This area is very, very important for your examination. Okay? If you are having any question, you can put me in the comment box. I'm sure that I'll get back to you with the right answer and right analysis for that. Okay? Let us move forward now. Now we'll discuss about the hot butter sauce. It is in example we call it compound butter, and in French we call it beurre composé. Beurre composé is a hard butter sauce. A compound butter, a beurre composé, is simply a butter mixed with other ingredients that add sweet or savory flavor like honey, herbs, or garlic, easily prepared in advance and stored in refrigerated in readiness for use. Sorry. What we do exactly, we take a butter, soft butter. In that soft butter, we add all the ingredients, mix it well, and put it in the refrigerator. And that is known as a compound butter beurre composé. How it looks like? It looks like this. You can see that this butter was mixed with many ingredients and then it is shaped like this and refrigerated. This is the example of hard butter sauce. How it is to be used? Just a few ways to use it. Spread it on bread, toast, muffins, scones, biscuits, and more. It will melt. And naturally, like we apply butter on the bread for making sandwiches, similarly, you can apply this kind of butter on these areas. You'll get an immense taste out of that. You can enjoy the food in a different way then. Or melt it and use it as a flavor enhancer for meat, fish, or vegetables. That also you can use. Use it as an ingredient in baked goods or rich sauce. Stir it into pasta or rice to add complex flavor. Boil pasta, add this compound butter, mix it well, naturally get a different kind of flavor. There is a delicacy of serving the food in that way. Same thing it can be done, the steaming hot rice with some compound butter, mix it well, you get a complex flavor and you can enjoy the food in a different way. So these are the ways these hot butter sauce, beurre composé can be utilized. How it is made? Start with unsalted butter. Why unsalted butter? So that you'll be able to control the salt content of the final product. Remember, you can add salt, but you can't take it away if it is smoked. Okay, so it is better to start with unsalted butter. Fine. Soften the butter by whipping it in a hand mixer or stand mixer. If you are short on time or appliances, you can just mash the butter with a fork, but your results won't be quite as fluffy. If you use a mixing machine or whipping machine, butter will become very fluffy. But the same thing, if you whisk it with a fork, butter will become soft, but that may not be the product, may not be very fluffy. Okay. Combine the butter with the sweet or savory ingredients for of your choice. You can use a fork, spoon, or your mixture. Just make sure it is completely blended. Once it is blended, transfer the flavored butter to a sheet of parchment paper, like in the image you have seen already. form it into a long or a ball or wrap it up in a cylindrical shape and let it sit in the fridge for at least 2 hours to chill. So it will become again hard and then you can remove, cut it and use it the way we have discussed before. Hot butter sauce, few examples: garlic butter or burala murgi gond made with garlic and parsley. This butter is perfect for spreading on bread, melting over steak, or adding to vegetables. Okay, smoked paprika and rosemary butter. From the name, it is very delicious to hear. Unsalted butter mixed with minced fresh rosemary, smoked paprika, and salt, served with cooked steak, chicken, or fish. Another one example: methyl butyl butter, made by blending softened butter with finely chopped parsley, lemon juice, lemon zest, and Dijon mustard, salt, and pepper. Herb butter, unsalted butter mixed with chopped fresh herbs such as parsley, thyme, rosemary, and oregano, seasoned with salt and pepper, served with dinner roll on top of grilled or baked chicken. Okay, Colbert butter. Start with methodotl butter, like very similar to methodotl butter. Blend in some chopped tarago and some jellied meat. So meat glaze can be added. Use it as a garnish for grilled meat and fish and for fried fish dishes such as sole a la Colbert. There are certain preparations sole a la Colbert, very classical dish in French cuisine where this kind of butter is used. So if you are asked between the difference between methodotl butter and Colbert butter, it is made in the same way, but only thing is that in the Colbert butter there is addition of tarago and jellied meat or meat base. Taste is the same like methodotl butter. Clear? Now let us switch over to another one. Hot butter sauce and pure shaw. Another butter, hot butter sauce. Hot butter sauce we have seen that is a frozen butter. Hot butter sauce is a melted butter infused with different herbs and spices. Are often used with vegetables, fish, meat, offals, and poultry dishes. They can be served to complete the dish or as an accompaniment, as for example, poisson meunier, beurre meunier to complete, beurre fondue to accompany the asparagus, etc. It is basically a melted butter infused with many ingredients, and that is the example of the way how the hot butter sauce is made. It is like this. You can see melted butter with some herbs and some other ingredients are there. This is an example of hot butter sauce. Examples: beurre noisette, heat butter until brown and pour over the food on the dish. If desired, a little lemon juice can be added. This butter is frequently used in conjunction with jus julienne for shallow fried fish. Okay, so it is basically a brown color butter. Heat butter until brown. That is the main point. Beurre noisette. Beurre noir, heat butter until it begins color brown and a few drops of vinegar and pour over the food. Noir means black, so it will be deep brown color. Capers and chopped parsley may be added at the last moment. So beurre noir is another one, the classical example. Beurre blanc, cook chopped shallots in a little water, gradually adding the juice of lemon as it evaporates. Twist butter in small pieces at a time, keeping the pan in a murmur of water until the lemon juices becomes white and frothy. Serve at once and do not allow to become too warm. So blanc means white actually. So beurre blanc is a white butter. It's mixed with the chopped shallots and lemon juice cooked and mixed with butter and melted. Okay. Another one example, beurre rouge, make as beurre blanc by using red wine. The rouge means red, so naturally same like beurre blanc, but in this case we are going to add red wine to get the color. Beurre fondant, heat butter until warm and just melted, add lemon juice and served immediately. That is also known as beurre fondant. Beurre meunier, as for beurre noisette, garnish it with chopped parsley. Okay, very close. A change of flavor is there by adding different herbs or red wine or white wine or shallots in different cases. So with that, we are at the end of the session for the day, and thank you very much for attending this session. I'm sure that you have some questions, some clarifications are still required. If it is so, don't forget to put me in the comment box, because your valued comments are very, very important for the class, and also it is motivating for me. I'll understand that you are participating, understanding, and getting it good for you all. If you have liked, please don't forget to subscribe, click the bell button so that you get the alarm whenever any new lesson will be uploaded in this channel, and also don't forget to share it with your friends. And I'm committed that next week I'll be back with another one very interesting lesson of it. Okay, and our next lesson will be classification of sauce part 3. So with this, I convey my thanks once again for attending this session, and we'll meet soon in the next class. Till then, goodbye, take care, bye bye.